channel, give us a like. I'm going to be doing these videos as often as I can. Really trying to help everyone with their weight loss needs. This week I'm coming at y'all with a new video. And we're going to talk about weight loss. Exactly what is the science of weight loss? How can we make it easy? I'm going to be giving y'all 3 tips to make it super easy. Tip number 1, guys. And tip number 1 is going to be be in a caloric deficit. Now, what does that mean, right? Everybody has a BMR, or basal metabolic rate. And what that is the minimal, let me repeat that, the minimal amount of calories that you need to eat in a day. And trust me, most of us, I don't care if we're sitting at a desk for 12 hours, most of us are burning more than our basal metabolic rate every day. Super simple, guys. Google BMR. They're going to give you a little algorithm. Plug in your numbers on there and you can get it super easy. You don't need me for that. Hopefully we're going to put that on the website soon, so you don't need to go anywhere else to find it. So yeah, tip number 1, be in a caloric deficit. Now there's 2 ways to be in a deficit. The first way is pretty standard. You're going to eat less food. Put the fucking fork down. And when I say that, you don't need to be eating, just spinach and carrots either. A lot of the clients that I talk to when we go through a little FAQ when the clients first come to me, and one of the questions I normally ask is how many calories are you eating? And multiple times I see that it's 1,000 calories, if not less. And keep in mind, guys, that our body does not have a brain. What does that mean, right? Well, we have a brain. We can use it. We can think, and react. Our body is just looking to survive. And if you're only giving it with 1,000 calories or, God forbid, less, then it's going to hoard on to all that energy that you have. It thinks there's a shortage. It thinks there's a famine. It thinks you're out somewhere and can't get food. So it's going to hold on to everything that you have to make sure that you will survive. So you're not going to lose any weight. The lowest I've ever had any of my clients on is 1,200 calories. And she was competing, she was doing bikini competitions. And that was for maybe 2 weeks. We had her on 1,200. We'll bump it up right after. I'm around 1,600 calories right now. I've also been dieting for about 8 weeks. I did not start at 1,600 calories. A big word of advice I have for y'all. Need y'all to listen if you kind of went somewhere else in the video. Don't start small. Definitely start eating more calories. Start at 2,000. That's like the recommended dose. It's BS really, but start somewhere like at least 2,000 calories. If the weight's still not coming off, which if you're eating the right things it should be, then we can scale it back a little bit. But definitely start big. Don't start small. I always like overfeeding my clients rather than underfeeding them. I can always take food away. Once we start adding food, now we're just playing a guessing game, and it makes my job a lot harder. So first way to be in a deficit is to eat less food. Second way, the preferred way, I would say, is to exert more. Use more energy. Use more calories. Through exercise. And the way that you do it is absolutely up to you. You can, if you enjoy running, you can go for runs. If you're more of an explosive person, you can do more sprints. You can do some high intensity interval training, some Tabata style training. Whether you're weightlifting in the gym, any way that you do it, just make sure you're doing it your all. Yes, girls, you're supposed to be in the gym as well. anything that you can do to increase that deficit. That's absolutely my preferred way. So two tips for creating a deficit is to eat less and to increase output. All right, so tip number two, guys, is increase your feedings. What do I mean by that? Increase your meals. I have a problem with saying breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like I have some weird thing in my head where I can't say it because it is 7:06 p.m. on a Friday right now, and I'm about to go make some scrambled eggs and put them on some Ezekiel toast. It's gonna be amazing. Guys, you can have eggs at 7 p.m. You can have a steak for breakfast. I'm not really into the whole breakfast, lunch, and dinner thing. I'd rather say meal one, two, three, four, and five. And another one of the like initial questions that I ask my clients is how many times are they eating? 9 times out of 10, I'm either gonna get 1 time a day, 2 times a day. And guys, that's just not enough. The same thing as before, your body thinks that you're only going to get those food pulses, in sporadic time. So it's going to hold on to that body fat and any other weight that you are trying to lose. For my girls, I like 4 meals, sometimes 5 if you're a little bit more advanced. For my guys, definitely 5 meals a day. And a lot of times I'll make 2 of those meals a protein shake. With my girls, we'll start off at least at about 0.5 grams per pound of body weight. That's standard in any literature that you'll read about protein in women. We'll definitely scale it on a case by case basis. Sometimes we'll go a little bit less, sometimes we'll go a little bit more, depending on the individual's goals. So we'll do 2 of those 4 meals for girls will be half a scoop of protein. A lot of people say they're in a crunch for time. If you can't make a half a scoop of protein, put it in a shaker cup, put in a tablespoon of almond butter and a quarter of a banana, and get out the door. If you can't wake up 5 minutes earlier and do that, super easy. Well, my guys, I usually do 1 gram per pound of body weight. We really should do per pound of lean body mass, but unless you have a DEXA scan or something like that close by, which if you do, use it and then go by your lean body mass. If not, we'll start off with body weight and we'll skew in either direction depending on what results we get. So yeah, increase our feeding, guys. That's going to increase our metabolism. Once our metabolism is increased, fat is just going to start falling off, guys. I remember when I finally, and sometimes you have to work up to it. Sometimes we'll start with 3 meals for sure, add a 4th, and then add a 5th. I remember when I've actually gotten to 6 meals before. The weight just literally just starts falling off and it feels amazing. You'll look amazing. Let me recap tips. 1, make sure you're in a caloric deficit, either by eating less or working more, or a combination of both. Tip number 2, increase your feedings. Make sure that you are eating, for my girls, at least 4 times a day, preferably 5 for some of my high-level clients. Guys, 5 meals a day for sure. 6 again if you can work up to it. Number 3, and this one is important, it's very underrated. If you're not paying attention to the video, hey, come back to me. Tip number 3, sleep more. I'm gonna let that digest for a little bit. More sleep is gonna cause weight loss. We're only building muscle. We're only recovering. We're only losing fat in our sleep. By exhaling, by the way, we say burning fat off, but we're really breathing fat out, which is great. Guys, at least 8 hours of sleep. You can do 7. I prefer about 8 hours of sleep. I'd like to consider myself a productive person. I'm always out trying to generate revenue, income, things like that, do new ideas for the brand, for the business. and I'm still getting 8 hours of sleep. Nine is best case scenario, and you'll really see the weight just start falling off. And it's something easy. Plan your day accordingly. If losing weight is important to you, maybe don't go out Friday and get some more sleep. I like sleeping early, waking up early. I think that's the best plan, best way to strategize for eating, and exercising and still fitting in, the fun stuff, the social things that you have to do too. It's all about a balance, guys, and that's what we're here at True Evolution. We want is a balance in your life, making sure you're making great gains, um, in the kitchen, in the gym, and also, with relationships and your family and things like that. And those are my three tips, guys. Be in a deficit, increase your feedings, and get some damn sleep. And I promise you, we don't even have to talk about macros yet. We haven't even gotten to that yet. Um, Imagine once we add the right macros, and I'll do a separate video about my macros, the calories that I eat, and the different